What is up, guys? It is Sunday, or Monday, not Sunday anymore. Monday, January 31st, last day of the month. Let's get into today. Or I guess we should go recap a little bit of yesterday. Man, was I excited about yesterday. Came into the game, of course, my lock of the day was Patrick Mahomes for the NFL. He had 220 yards passing in the first half and then just fell off. Then he passed for 45 yards in the second half and had probably the worst half of his entire career. So that really is a bummer. I thought for sure at halftime I was like, all right, that's a lock. We're good to go there. My NBA lock of the day did hit. Anthony Simons hit on his over at 28.5. He ended up getting a 30. But other than that, guys, my Joe Mixon one didn't hit either. I thought Sadiq Bey was going to struggle against Cleveland, and he drops 31. Tough day. Yeah, let's just get into today, man. All right, guys, for my lock of the day for the NBA, it's going to be actually from the early game, and it's going to be a Memphis Grizzly not named Ja Morant. Jaren Jackson's line right now for his rebounds is set at 6 right now. His points is also set at 15. Here's why I like the rebounds a little bit more than points. But points and rebounds is also a line they have for him too, so that might be one I also go with. For the sake of the rebounds, the 76ers are going to be without Joel Embiid tonight. Andre Drummond, we all know, is a rebounding machine. But when he's not on the floor, the next biggest player that the 76ers have on their roster is Charles Bassey. 6'9", third-string center. And after that, it's a bunch of 6'7", 6'8" guys. He is the biggest guy they have after Andre Drummond's not on the floor. So, I don't know if Charles Bassey will be getting minutes. Obviously, he might have to. Paul Reed is also another guy 76ers have on their roster as a bigger guy. But when Andre Drummond is not on the floor, those rebounds are going to be up for the grabbing. And that also means that their their interior defense is not going to be the greatest. And what do the Grizzlies love to do? They love to attack the paint, whether that's Ja Morant or whether that's Jaren Jackson. So I love Jaren Jackson's points, or just his rebounds. I have every intent of that Philadelphia-Memphis game to be a close game, even without Joel Embiid. So also look for Tobias Harris's line, 21.5 points. Obviously, without Embiid in there, he's going to be the number one scoring option. And when Embiid even when Embiid has been having his big games, Tobias Harris has been kind of sneakily still having his good share of games. 33 points, 23 points in his last couple of games, 16 points. So even now that Embiid is not on the floor tonight, look for Tobias Harris to have a pretty good size night. All right, so I also like an over pick from the Knicks-Sacramento game at 6:30. I like RJ Barrett over his points. I know a lot of people don't like to bet on the Knicks. I know that. I know a lot of people don't like to bet on Randall. I know people don't like to bet on Barrett. I know that people don't like to bet on the Knicks in general, all right? This Knicks-Sacramento game, I have a feeling is going to be close. Two teams that are relatively not great, teams that are kind of right outside the playoff cusp, or right outside the playoff bubble play-in kind of teams. Sacramento, believe it or not, I went back and I looked. They've kind of allowed the last couple of talented guards they've played to kind of eat a little bit. A couple games ago, they played the Trailblazers, who have two talented guards, Anthony Simons. He had 31 points in that game. Looking back too as well here. They also played the Pistons a couple games back, and Sadiq Bey had 30. Corey Joseph had 19. Cade Cunningham had 13. So as much as you'd think that they have pretty good perimeter defense with Tyrese Halliburton and Davion Off-Night Mitchell, they've actually kind of been allowing a lot of points by the opposing team's number one guard. And RJ Barrett has increased his scoring production tremendously this season. So I have the intention of this not being a blowout in any means. It could be a close game. So look for RJ Barrett to go over on his points. I don't love his rebounds line. Rashawn Holmes, Marvin Bagley, those guys are pretty good at rebounding the basketball. So I don't love his points, rebounds, assist line, but I do love his points line. Next line I have for you guys is going to be coming from the Toronto-Atlanta 6:30 game. Pascal Siakam over for his points, assists, and rebounds. I went back, like always, and I'm looking back at future matchups or past matchups with the Hawks playing talented wing players like Pascal Siakam. RJ Barrett managed to drop 26 on them, as well as Julius Randle a couple games back. Chris Middleton had 34 on them. They were able to keep Jimmy Butler in check pretty well. Miles Bridges had 19. and Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown went for 20 and 26. So, when you really think about the Hawks, they don't have the greatest wing defenders. They got talented wing scorers. They got a lot of talented offensive players on the Hawks team, but they just don't have people that can hold an opposing team's best wing. So I love this matchup for Pascal Siakam against the Hawks. Also, the Hawks are, I believe, right on like a 8-game winning streak right now. They're feeling really good. The Raptors are also playing really well right now. They have everybody back: Scotty Barnes, Fred VanVleet, Gary Trent. They're all healthy right now. I think this has the makings to be a really good game. And Pascal Siakam should go over his points, rebounds, and assists. There is one more line I want to bring up to you guys just real quick. Desmond Bane is set at 2.5 assists right now. Look at this. When you look at the book sometimes, you got to look at stuff like this. Desmond Bane for 2.5 assists, last 3 games, 4 assists, 3 assists, 3 assists. They moved down John Morant's line. They had been putting John Morant's points, rebounds, and assists at above 40. They now dropped him below 40, which means they expect Desmond Bane to maybe have the ball a little bit more tonight. I know Ja's a little bit coming off of a little bit of just a minor injury that he just suffered a couple games ago. But look for Desmond Bane to for sure get that 2.5 assists. All right, now for a couple of unders for you guys. Sorry, checking the underdog tweets. Couple of unders for you guys. Portland Trailblazers, OKC, 7 o'clock game. This game is going to probably be a blowout. The Thunder are without Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. A couple of games ago, the Blazers were able to blow out the Houston Rockets. I think the Houston Rockets and the Thunder are kind of right around that same tier as far as teams go. Look for Jusuf Nurkic to go under on his 18 points. I think the guards in this game are going to have a field day. I think Norman Powell, CJ McCollum, Anthony Simons, those guys are going to eat pretty well. They're going to shell the ball well. Jusuf Nurkic, just not enough buckets to go around between all of those talented wing or like guard scorers for the Blazers. So look for Jusuf Nurkic to go under on his points at 17.5. And one more under I have for you guys at the 7 o'clock game, Golden State versus Houston. This is going to be a blowout if I've ever seen one. Steph Curry's points right now are set at 24.5. When the Warriors blow out teams, when they play teams by a pretty, or when they when they beat a team by a big margin, Steph Curry doesn't tend to have a lot of points. He tends to have a lot more assists and rebounds in games where they blow out teams. Look for Steph Curry to not hit that mark. Look for guys like Andrew Wiggins and Klay Thompson to have a bigger role, even like a Jordan Poole. Look for those guys to have more points than Steph does tonight. So with that being said, I love Steph Curry's under 25 points against the Houston Rockets. All right, guys, and the under lock of the day. Going to be coming from the Miami-Boston game, 6:30, under on Duncan Robinson. The Boston Celtics have great perimeter defense. Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, Dennis Schroeder, great perimeter defenders. What does Duncan Robinson only do? He only catches and shoots. They're also without a lot of people tonight. Jimmy Butler is someone who's going to get Duncan Robinson open shots. Kyle Lowry, someone who's going to get Duncan Robinson open shots. They're not playing tonight. So there's not going to be a guard isoing at the top of the key, driving to the basket, kicking it out to Duncan Robinson for him to hit open shots. He's not going to score off the dribble. He's not going to score isolation. He's not going to score one-on-one versus any of these elite defenders for the Celtics. Duncan Robinson's under. I love this one a lot. It is the under of the day for me. All right, guys, that's going to be today's video. Here's my slips for today. My 3 slip is going to be RJ Barrett's over on his points. Over on Jaren Jackson's points and rebounds. I decided to go with points and rebounds. And my under lock of the day, which is Duncan Robinson, under 12.5 points. So that's my lock, or my 3 pick for the day. Then I always like to do a 5 slip just for fun. So I'm going to do over on Desmond Bane's 2.5 assists, over on Jaren Jackson's rebounds, over on Andre Drummond's rebounds, under on Steph Curry, and over on Pascal Siakam points, rebounds, and assists. Let's make up the money we lost yesterday, guys.